Dynamic data masking, DDM, this works on top of row-level security, and it further restricts the exposure of sensitive data by masking that sensitive data to non-privileged users. So, for example, let's say John and Chris can read and write data that belongs to customer 1. The row-level security ensures they can only read and write data for customer 1 in the customer table. However, by combining with dynamic data masking, we can ensure that John can see social security numbers of the customer and Chris can't, as he's not authorized to see that particular data. Through the use of dynamic data masking, Chris will see masked data in the social security number column, though he can see data in the rest of the columns. Dynamic data masking is implemented by defining masks and applying them to columns as and when required. There isn't any change required at the application level or the query level, as the masks are applied at the column level. DDM can be used for full, partial, or random masking. So the example here is support call people need the last 4 characters of a user's password to identify them. This can be done by masking all characters except the last 4. Now, dynamic data masking has the following 4 types of masks to obfuscate the data. Default implements full masking depending on the data type of the column being masked. Email, partial masking, which masks all characters except the first letter and the suffix of an email address. For example, John 1984 at Data Platform Labs will be masked as jxxx@xxx.com. Random masks columns with a numeric data type with a random value within a specified range. And custom string is partial masking, which masks all characters with a custom string excluding the first and last letters. Now, there are some limitations to dynamic data masking. Encrypted columns, file streams, column sets, or a sparse column which is part of a column set cannot be masked. Computed columns can't be masked. However, if the computed column depends on a masked column, the computed column will return masked values. A masked column can't be used as a full text index key, and the mask can't be applied to a column with dependencies. For example, if an index depends on a column, it can only be masked by dropping the index, applying the mask, and then creating the index.